Hey guys, I'm Kelly and this is my channel Incredible Anyway, where I talk about how to live an incredible life no matter what your circumstances are. In this video we're talking about chronic illness, disability, and dating, and I have my good friend Shanna here with me. We're going to talk about this together and answer some of your questions. Shanna loves vintage and flea marketing, and she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and POTS, and she has a golden doodle service dog. As we're talking about dating, this is just two people's experiences, and like anything that's related to chronic illness and disability, experiences are going to vary from person to person. So this is literally just our experiences, and that's going to be, unique to our health issues, but also our age and everything in between. The next part of going on a date for a person with disability and chronic illness is safety and preparing yourself, just protect yourself. What I have done, and I think is really good to do, is to make sure when you go someplace, tell somebody local where you are going to be and like what time you're going to be there, and I actually check in with that person. So I go to the bathroom, and in the stall I text and I'm like, I'm here, I'm doing good, just because then that person knows that I'm safe, and I know that they know I'm safe, and that if they don't hear from me, that they'll make sure that I'm okay, that they'll come check on me. They know where I'm at, especially if the date gets to be going long or you go somewhere else, making sure that person knows. To me, it feels like a safety net. It's that extra layer of protection, because it's just an unfortunate fact that those of us with disability are more vulnerable and are assaulted more often than people who don't have disability on date, like at a very, very high rate. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really important to protect yourself. How we can protect ourselves in other ways kind of depends on our comfortability level of like whatever makes us feel safe. Like you had some examples.
I think when it comes to protecting yourself on a date, it's very personal. Mm-hmm. And it also comes to the same thing as like we as women are taught from a young age by our mothers or our fathers. What do you do in a dark parking lot by yourself? Same thing on a date. You're taught to carry pepper spray or not, because you don't want it used against you, or you put your keys between your fingers.
Right.
Or Couboutons are very popular. There's all kinds of other self-defense things that people do. Whatever your self-defense item is of choice, don't forget that on a date, especially with a stranger. And for heaven's sakes, don't forget your phone.
Oh yeah. Don't
go on a date without a phone.
What do you think about, so a lot of us with disability and chronic illness don't drive, or we drive on occasion, or there are occasions we can't drive. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about having a date pick you up at home? And if you
No.
I agree with you.
That was my first gut instinct.
I think we could use public transportation.
Yeah, and there's lots of Uber services and Lyft and those sorts of things. Depending on where you live, I think there's probably a lot of limitations. I live in the city. There's plenty of options around.
And even here, I have access to accessible transportation.
Okay.
But it's only during certain hours, so I'm not sure, I would have to look it up. I'm not sure that it would be available in the evenings. I'm sure that Lyft doesn't. I'm not sure about Uber, but they don't have wheelchair accessible vehicles, for example, that they might have in cities.
Okay.
I usually have my parents drive me places, but that kind of is not exactly what I would want to do. Be dropped off. But I guess you could also have a friend or somebody else drop you off.
And you know what? It's dating, and you gotta get there. You want to get there.
Right, exactly.
Just get there.
Yeah, you get there how you can get there. And even if it's your parents, if I didn't want my parents to be seen by my date, I could always just get there really early and tell the date, if we're done, say, okay, I'm gonna wait for my ride, mm-hmm. if that's something that really bothered you.
Yeah. And this also comes back all the way around to the beginning when we were talking about profiles, because you and I are different also in our profile setting. I keep my profile setting mileage really tight.
Yeah.
Because I do drive, but I drive local. I don't drive very far because of certain limitations that I have. And if I can't drive to someone, it makes me nervous. I prefer having the independence. So I would like to meet somebody that lives close to me so that I have the independence to drive to them, because I don't want to depend on my parents to drive me.
Sure.
So I put my profile settings kind of tight.
Yeah.
And that's my personal preference.
Whereas if I put my profile settings as tight as hers, or because I live in more of a country area, I wouldn't meet very many people. And so I've kind of decided, okay, I'm going to be okay with asking for help or telling the person they've got to come to me kind of thing. Or maybe meeting halfway, having my parents drive me halfway there.
We're all different. Maybe people can make some comments to help other people out.
Yeah. If you have any thoughts or ideas about that, that would be great. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on chronic illness and disability and dating. If you have any questions for us, let us know in the comments section. If you have a video request, let us know. I am Kelly.
And I'm Shanna.
And you are not alone. Bye guys. Yay! Was that it?
Yeah.
Did we get it?
I think we got it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are not alone in this world. You are not alone. You are not alone in this world. You are not alone.